Shooting it raw?
Yes, shooting it raw. So the next image is, so where I live, if I leave my house to get to where you're sitting on that pier, that end, with that view of the amazing hillside, is literally 10 minutes.
Yep.
And so so the image is that the sun is setting. So it's probably about like 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
There's cloud. It's not, I mean, just a little bit of cloud cover. The light it's kind of filtered a little bit through the cloud cover. And then you've got some faraway hillsides that go up maybe 300 or 400 meters, which is about 1,200 feet. And then it's just like this sort of gentle slope, and it's all covered in Hong Kong's amazing green jungle, lush green forests. And then you're sitting in a bay, a small bay, and the image, whoever made the photograph, is of you sitting with your arm around a white and black dog, and you're kind of looking out onto the water because it's a sea.
Yeah.
And so there are a couple of things that I don't want to box you in, but only in the sense that you had mentioned the word sentience, and associating that with animals, and then here you have this companion animals, and here you are with your companion animal, and I can tell that you're wearing a mask. So this is a recent photograph. In terms of your idea of communicating to the world the mission of kindness in action of Animals Asia, and your work and your life and who you are. So how would you discuss this image?
So just the image that you're describing is my dog, and her name is Shelby, and she was a rescue dog, and went through adversity in her life. And when she came to stay with me 6 years ago, it was a bit of a life changer. I wasn't expecting to have a dog at that time. I thought my life was a bit too busy, and I didn't have the time to give her the care that she needed and that I knew she needed. But we made adjustments. She unfortunately had puppies and lost them all. And after experiencing that moment with her when she lost her puppies and coming home and sitting on the floor and crying with her, and she was howling, it was a decision that just wasn't really a decision. She was staying. And so 6 years later, she's been my constant companion. We've been through a lot together. And I think, again, just observing her behavior and trying to think about life from her perspective, and, the things that we do day to day, and what is she thinking? What is she enjoying? And so this photo was just a moment. We sadly lost her companion in September. And so, again, that's been another moment in both our lives that's been traumatic. And she's been there and just a constant support. And I hope that I've done the same by her as well. So it was just, my friend actually was behind us, and she looked, we were just about to leave, and she said, "Oh my gosh, don't move. This is like the perfect photo." And it just does. I mean, it captures our relationship together. And I think, again, it just sort of epitomizes looking at animals as our companions, as our equals, perhaps. I know that's the way I see them. And in my day-to-day, I'm trying to do things in a way that has them as our partners. Animals generally as our partners, as our companions, as opposed to something to use, to abuse, to dominate over, to, be in control or in charge of. So I think that's just the way that I sort of look at our relationship. And, I think we definitely have that bond. That's something special that is never going to be. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's just, for me, it's just a sort of instinctual way that I think about animals. And I hope through the education work that I do every day, and trying to explain sentience and explain the fact that, animals feel different emotions just like we do. And they have one life that they want to live the same as we do, and trying to get people to make that connection that, as we all have. And it's this one thing that Animals Asia, we sort of ran a campaign on this about one life. And it really is sort of something that I reflect on every day, that every living being on this planet has one life that we all want to live in some way, shape, or form, and have positive experiences, and, be able to make choices, be able to avoid harm and hurt and pain and suffering. And so animals feel these things as well, and have exactly the same needs that we do as humans. So I guess trying to impart some of that way of thinking.
Hmm.
The education work that I do is something that I feel really passionate about. Again, it's not forcing people to follow a certain way, but it's just helping them to perhaps broaden their thinking about animals and about their needs and about their feelings, and putting yourselves in their shoes, in their experiences of a situation, and trying to help them understand things that way.
Right. Well, it's basically, it's the essence or the spirit of this podcast. If life really is a gift, if you only do have one life,
Yeah.
how do we make every second count, right? So in the one life that you have, you are using part of your experience and your expression is to raise consciousness, raise awareness, share with others that, not only is this a kind of a self-centered mission for all of us.
Yeah.
We're all kind of seeking the good life in a way, but how to share that with other animals, be it a bird or a dog or a cat,
Yeah.
horse, or the cows. So this notion of sentience, the sense of self, the sense of self-awareness and consciousness. And then when you do have a dog, I have 5 dogs, so clearly I'm on your side of the spectrum. But so one thing that we have to come to terms with, and I don't mean to bring up something that's going to hit you in the feels, but
Mm-hmm.
is the fact that we outlive these companions that for many of us, we project so much of our emotional state onto them. And then dogs are kind of, I don't want to say they're bred for this, but they're exquisite reflectors of our emotional states. Like they really do read how we feel.
Absolutely.
I think when you have these animals around you, you become aware of the fact that, for example, a dog can smell changes in your body chemistry,
Yeah.
which for us is completely outside of our consciousness. But they can smell if you're scared or if you're excited or like. So, how do you come to terms with the fact that you are going to outlive this profoundly important companion?
Oh, definitely hitting me in the feels. So dogs, I think, I always say in the education classes that I do that the one fault that dogs have is they don't live as long as we do, and that's their only fault in my mind. And so, it's a heartbreaking moment to lose a dog. I think they take a part of your heart with you when they go.
Mm-hmm.
And I think their memories live on with you forever. I know they do for me anyway. I've been, unfortunately, through this situation one too many times.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think it is a fault. They should live forever,
Is it?
I think. Um,
Is it?
yeah, I
Is it a fault?
well, I think
I
they
think.
come
I
into
think.
our lives to teach us. They teach
Well, yeah.
to be compassionate and to be caring and to have empathy for something other than ourselves, and they do it so wonderfully.
Maybe also to teach us or to make us aware. So, for example, when one of our dog, Sputnik died, that really profoundly impacted on Delian, my wife's Delian's feelings and life and appreciation, whatever you want to call it, all like her life, her experience, like Delian's consciousness, and in a way, maybe dogs are teachers in terms of understanding the trajectory of a life.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
absolutely, I would agree. Yeah, I mean, when my dog passed in September, it definitely made me reflect. It made me think about, life and death, and yeah, just the experiences that we'd had, the good times and the memories that we had, and as much as I was absolutely devastated, he's sort of been an instigator to continue on, and I've actually just recently qualified as a dog trainer.
Mm.
He was the instigator for that because when I got him 5 years ago, he was an absolute, as I called him, a pocket rocket, and I didn't know how to him. I didn't know how to handle his behavior, and it was because of him that I actually started to study sort of animal ethology and just learning more about why animals do what they do and about positive training to help obviously modify behaviors. And so, I feel like that legacy that he left, the lessons that he taught me, the patience that he definitely taught me, finding different ways and new approaches that were kind to him,
Yeah,
and that I understood how to do. And it built our bond phenomenally. Me spending
absolutely.
time working. So, animals take effort. They take time. They take, our care. They drain our bank accounts. They, take our time. They are
Sure.
needy. But the amount of love and unconditional love and zero judgment, they are there for you through everything, 110%. They know instinctively how to react. If you
Yeah.
want to go for a walk, they're there. They're ready to go. If you want to have a day in bed, they're there with you. So I think just, my dog who's passed, Buddy, he was a life changer, I think, and his sort of legacy lives on in the fact now that I'm hopefully able to impart some more knowledge to others about dogs and how we can obviously
Hmm.
help and be their companions and be the best guardians of them that we can be. I
Right.
to use the word owner because it kind of it's sort of feels like it's a dominance thing and not really
Yeah.
a equal relationship. So I always try and use the word guardians instead, because
Sure.
partners, because I think that's the way the relationship should be.
So, is life really a gift? Really? Can you make every second count? That's the whole point of the podcast. So, if you like what you've seen and you're inspired, because that really is my mission, then please give it a like, subscribe, and share.
Shooting it raw?
Yes, shooting it raw.